Okay, this short episode. I ran out of my propane tanks in my travel trailer. So I have this backup system, cooking system. It can also be used, it's just a one burner, also for heat if you're in a real cold area. But, I recommend opening up a roof vent or a window or something if you're going to be running this, because it doesn't produce much carbon monoxide, but these one burners are really good. And I do go into episodes about how to refill these the tanks you've used up for about $1. Instead of spending $5 or more, I went into 2 episodes on my YouTube channel. Just go into playlists and how to. The category called how to. And I'll show you, how to, like if you're in an RV, whatever, and you got 20-pound propane tanks on the front of your unit, or 30-pound tanks, whatever, I show you how to fill these up. Okay, so anyway, I ran out of propane last night. So I have no heat. I have no way to cook anything except for this nice, it's a Coleman. Nice one burner. You can get a 2 burner if you want. So anyway, I'm just cooking up a cup of noodles, and before that I boiled up some chicken and cut it up and put it into the cup of noodles. Nice inexpensive meal. Like, I don't know, it probably costs you $1 at most. And you're getting a lot of protein because of all the chicken you're adding. You're getting the carbohydrates from the noodles. And then I add a little butter for the fat. So you're getting the 3 food groups. Okay? So anyway, the other issue, when you run out of all your propane in your travel trailer, my refrigerator, it's typical Dometic refrigerator. That turned off because that runs off of propane. So I recommend going over to solar. Okay, and here's my solar freezer. Okay, there's the inverter, and here's the freezer unit, and that's all running off of solar. So I still have refrigeration. I'm running low on everything right now, but if you go solar, you could run freezers off of solar. You can run refrigerators off of solar. So that's all this episode is about. Like, if you really want to get off the grid, and the last time I went in to get propane, the energy prices have they're skyrocketing. I paid $30 a tank, so I had 2 tanks. It was $60. But that solar freezer I just showed you is costing me nothing at all. Okay, so a couple of tips. Check my videos about how to refill these for $1 a piece. These 1-pound tanks of propane. So if you run out of propane, if you got a bunch of these filled up, you can still cook. You still can use it as a heater. Like I say, you probably should, open up one of your roof vents just to get some airflow. But they don't produce that much carbon monoxide. It's not like burning Coleman fuel and other things that produce a lot of carbon monoxide. I've never had an issue. Actually, I've never opened up my windows, and I've never felt any ill effects just running this propane stove. But that's another, thing to get your temperatures up. If it's really cold in your trailer or whatever, and you've run out of propane, you can't get to the, right now I'm 15 miles from the nearest store. So, I won't be able to get there for 2 more days. So, anyway, like I say, I prepared. I kept all my old propane tanks that ran out, and I keep them all filled up. As soon as I fill up my big tanks, my 20 or 30 pound, whatever you have, I have 2 30-pound propane tanks. So, that's about it with this episode. I'm doing fine because I've got solar freezer. So I put everything that ran off of propane. Like I say, my refrigerator here. It's a good refrigerator, put out by Dometic. They're excellent, but they run on propane. So that ran out, so it's not cooling anymore. So like I say, I put in that solar freezer, and so I could transfer stuff from the refrigerator to the freezer, and save my goods and all that kind of stuff. So that's the advantages. One of the advantages. There's many advantages of going over to solar. You can run refrigerators too. This one won't run off Dometics. It's a standard what comes in travel trailers. You can't run those off of solar. You have to get one of those small. Well, it doesn't even have to be small. Just a regular 120 volt. AC run refrigerator, and you have to hook it up to an inverter that's hooked up to a battery bank, and the battery bank is being charged by your solar system. So why rely on propane and these exorbitant fees that are across the market on all of our energy bills? Our gas bills, oil bills, diesel, gasoline for our, this is all gone crazy. It's like doubled in price. All these energy fuels that we rely on have doubled since President Biden got in 2 years ago. So if you're a prepper, I would say switch over to solar. Get your solar systems in place. So anyway, I'm hungry. I added some boiled chicken that I cut up in small pieces, and I added it to a cup of noodle soups, and a meal is going to cost me $1. $1. Okay, that's about it. Eagle Air camping out in the Sonoran Desert, out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm still doing well. I've got heat, I've got cooking facilities, lighting, everything running off of solar. Almost everything is running off of solar, but in RVs and stuff, the propane, it's designed to run your furnace. My furnace is right down here. Okay. It's that runs the furnace there runs off the propane. My refrigerator's running off of propane. My water heater is running off of propane. So right now I can't even take a shower because both of my tanks ran out. but that heats up your water heater, which supplies hot water to your sinks and your shower and everything else. So my point, I think, is if you can get your whole system running off of just solar with no propane, it's very, very possible. Costs money, but hey, look what's going on with gas prices. Have doubled since Sleepy Joe got in there. Doubled. Energy prices. All Europe. I mean, in Europe, it's tripled and even quadrupled the energy prices to heat people's homes, to run your vehicles, everything else. So anyway, that's all I have to say in this video. I think everyone should be investing in solar, not spending like this little Dometic refrigerator. That's a tiny one, tiny. Got just an ice cube tray up on the top. That's all you can put up there. You can't even put in frozen goods. This is going to run you, I don't know, $1,200, $1,500. Why not invest in a solar system and just run 120 volt AC off an inverter? I got an inverter right there, a small one there. I got a few inverters. I got a big 3,000 watt inverter too. That one, 750 watt. From Harbor Freight was only about, I don't know, 50 or 60 bucks total. And then you're going to need a charge controller and solar panels. But that's what I would recommend. Instead of spending thousands of dollars on these other systems. And, who knows where energy is going to go. Because President Biden, he doesn't want to help the oil companies. He's wanting to deal with China because his son is like involved with China, making millions of dollars each year, and he's got all kinds of ulterior motives, and he's shutting down all of our pipelines and da da da. So okay, so my point is, get off grid. Just get off grid. Get off the grid. And take care of yourself. Instead of spending, paying the power companies and electric companies and oil companies for your gas and everything, and heating oil and everything else. Get off the grid. It could get much worse. Nobody knows. But the government right now, with Sleepy Joe in there, they're not saying they're going to be taking care of these things. All they're doing, they just sent like $1 billion to the Ukraine. But there's homeless people left and right, thousands of them, are losing their homes, everything else. So it's getting worse. It's not getting better. This Democratic Party has just the radical left, in my opinion. Look at what Governor Newsom is doing in California. He's releasing sex offenders now, child molesters and everything, after like 18 months in jail. So they're getting out on the streets. Okay, this is about it. This is Eagle Eric out in the Sonoran Desert, signing off.